Hey, what's shaking, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of, you guessed it, Jay's Straight Up Reviews and more. So we're taking a look at the Tribit Stormbox 2 today. This is the follow-up to the original Stormbox. But before we get into this, if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, I urge you to do so because today we are running a special. Subscriptions are free. They will cost you nothing. And I guarantee you, as I'll always say, this channel is worth every bit of nothing. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you will know when new videos drop like this one. And I will also have a link to this speaker in the description, as well as a link to my Amazon storefront. So check that out also. So the Stormbox 2 looks to be very similar to the original Stormbox. I don't have it on hand. I haven't had it for about 3 years. But this material seems to be a little bit softer than the original one. Same layout though, where you got your big buttons on front. And you also have Tribit branding down here. Around the back, there is a button for pairing two of these TWS. You have a bass up button, a dedicated Bluetooth button, which I like that, and a power button. Now back here on the flap, you have USB-C is what this charges with, and it also does have a 3.5mm jack for wired use. That's good. Passive radiator on each end with a little hanging strap that you can remove, just like the first one. But this one, this has sound coming out the left and the right. So it's not coming at you, it's going sideways. That's not the greatest design for me personally, just my own personal choice. Because if you lay this on its side, you kind of have to lay it on its back, and it's really not made to do that. So see, it kind of wants to roll. Then you have sound coming out the front and the back. Then you're sitting on your control buttons and your charging port. So it's not really meant to be laid on its side. It's really meant to be standing up. And as far as the particulars on it, it's Bluetooth 5.3, which I won't say that's the newest anymore because I've seen some things coming out Bluetooth 5.4 now. Up to 24 hours of playtime. That's obviously going to be your best case scenario at low volume. Two 17-watt drivers. It is IPX7, and you also can do calls on this, hands-free calling, and it's compatible with the Tribit app. And it comes with your manual and just a USB-C to A cable for charging, and no 3.5mm cable. So as far as the speaker goes size-wise, here it is up against the Flip 6, very similar size. The Flip 6 is rounded though, whereas the Stormbox 2 is kind of not completely round, it's rounded off. But as far as size and design goes, very similar to the Tozo PA2, which it has that more, not round, but rounded look, but it has more squarish passive radiators as opposed to the Tribit, which has rounded passive radiators. But you can see those very, very similar in size. This one's a little bit lighter. The Tribit's a little bit heavier. All right, so let's back this up and go into the app EQs and see what we have with that. Now, before we get into a full-blown sound check on this, I will say one thing that's a little quirky, or it's by design, but I'm not too wild about it, is the extra bass button can't be used in conjunction with another preset EQ or with your own custom EQ. So as you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but I'm in audio book EQ. So if I push extra bass while I'm in that EQ, it knocked me up to the extra bass EQ. So again, I've got extra bass on. If I go to rock EQ, you can see right there the extra bass button went off. So if I turn back on extra bass, then it's defaulted back to extra bass EQ. So I'm not wild about that. So extra bass is its own separate thing. It's not used in addition to other EQs that are preset or your own custom EQ. I'm not that crazy about that. So it's just either that, all or nothing. You're either using just the bass, extra bass EQ, or you're using the other ones without it. So while we're in the extra bass EQ, I'm just going to leave this point it this direction because it really doesn't matter because it's shooting out the left and the right. Put your headphones on if you have them. We're going to back this up. All right. That's 60% volume. This is in the extra bass EQ. Let's go up to 80%. Alright, we're gonna flip it over to my custom EQ. There it is right there. Track, still 80%.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out.
Go to 100%, max volume. What can this do bass wise? Pause there. I don't know if you can get that through just the video, but I can tell it's limiting. It's reeling the bass in on that to keep it from getting overdriven. But that's a good thing because I hate when they, if you follow this channel at all, you know I hate when they get all distorted. And then some people will say, well, you're never supposed to run a speaker at 100%. Well, then why do they have 100% on the volume? Why don't they just stop it at 90 and say, I'm sorry, but you don't get the extra 10%? Because we don't allow it. So anyway, this one you can tell it's reeling in. So I don't like that you can hear that it's reeling it in, but it is better than letting it run free and getting to be a distorted mess. So back to it. It's really fighting it. You can tell the volume. Whoa, hit the brakes. I turned the volume down there at the very end. You could tell whenever that was at 100%, when it stopped with the bass line, the volume kind of started to increase. Let me back that up again. We'll keep it at 100%. I was starting to go back down, but listen to whenever the bass starts and then when it stops, you can hear the volume start to increase a little bit. You can hear it fighting it right there. Now see how I got louder? Volume goes down when the bass kicks in. Now let's go to 80%. Not doing it nearly as bad. 60%. See, it sounds a little fuller at 60, but it's quieter. 40%. All right, that's it. Now, as you can tell by that, when this thing gets to 100%, it starts fighting itself to keep the bass from distorting, which I don't like when you can really tell that it's doing that, but it is better than the alternative of sounding really distorted. So I'm not crazy about that. Let's just put it that way. The overall presentation of it has, if you use custom EQ like I did and increase the treble in the mids just a little bit, not a lot, it has a pretty decent sound to it. The clarity and stuff is good. I don't necessarily like where you've got the speaker shooting to the left and right of you and not at you, but that's the design of this. So it would be different if you put it in a corner. You get some bass reinforcement and it would kind of reflect more at you than if it's just out in the open like this. So I'll probably do a video with this up against maybe the JBL or that Tozo. If you were going to get this speaker, the Stormbox 2, I had posted that deal a few days back where you could get it for like, I think it was around 40 bucks, a little more than that. That's where this speaker should be priced at, in my opinion. If it's about 70 bucks, that might be a little high, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below on this one. It's a good speaker, but it just has some quirks to it. Again, I don't like that you can't use the bass boost button in addition to other EQs. It's just all or nothing by itself. So, but it is what it is. Again, like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, do it today. It's free, it costs you nothing, and I guarantee this channel is always worth every bit of nothing. And leave some comments on this one. I'd like to see what you guys have to say about it. That's it. We'll catch you guys at the next one.